Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I know my face is not on the screen today. It's so much easier for me to sit at the table in my chair than sit on the floor over there and do it. I know you must see my beautiful face, but you are just going to have to see my amazing hands, okay? So today we are going to be looking at how we can reflect on where you've been. That could be something from like 10 years ago, 6 months ago, anytime, or even in a past life. And where you've been and how you can find gratitude in that to where you are right now. Finding gratitude, even if you're in a dark place. Still finding the gratitude to know where you are, because you're able to reflect and look at that. Whereas before, maybe you didn't have that reflection time. You didn't have that, even that awareness of looking at something and seeing something for what it was, seeing it as a pattern, or seeing it as negative, or seeing it as something not for your highest good. And so today we're going to look at that. So we have the perfection of your life. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And come to life. My first intention I was drawn to was the color green in those. And actually the first thing was having life in this one and having life in that. This one down here. This one, the perfection of your life, and then come to life. Like seeing your life in perfection and bringing yourself to light. Okay? And this one says relax and hold the darkness and be at cause. So again, if you notice, this picture is in black and white, and so this is like you, because she's painting. You can see she's painting on her life, and so she's like bringing color to her life. She is painting what she wants, and I think it goes this way, like counterclockwise, where you're going around. You're starting at the bottom, and you're coming out of this. Well, I think I talked about this black and white. You're coming out of that and you're painting yourself in this darkness. Like you're molding yourself in the darkness, like what you want. Going through the darkness will help you see a lot. It will bring light and clarity to what you want. And this card brings that. It says the perfection of your life. So it's kind of that circle, like going around in a big circle to see what you want and what you need, and then a cycle going again. And just like we talked about, being able to reflect, like I'm right now, and I'm going to go around through this darkness, painting myself out of the things I don't desire and back into something I want in life. And then as you grow and as you expand, you'll get to a place where you're like, okay, I've done that. Now what's next? And you repeat. It's a pattern. You repeat it. It's okay, and nothing's wrong with that at all. Okay. So I'm going to put these cards down, and so that is something to reflect on. Yes, you could be in this stage where you're just now painting yourself, or you're in the darkness and you're molding yourself into, okay, I'm at this place where I'm going to be in completion, and I'm going to be in the life that I want right now for myself, until that changes, because we change. Nothing's wrong with that. So let's talk with our ancestors and see what they have to say about. Oh, no. One more about this whole process that you're going in. These patterns that you're living and you're cycling through. These could also be patterns you picked up from your family. which could be just in your family line. It could be some kind of pattern. And the reason why I'm saying, because this is a general reading, I'm trying to keep it vague because everyone's story is going to be different, but everyone's story can also have the same kind of wounding and the same kind of traumas and the same kind of upbringing. So there are some things that will match someone else's, but not everyone's story is the same. Everyone has their own story. Everyone will paint differently. So that's why, wow, they don't want to, and it's just not talking. I think they've got that one thing to say. Okay, this one thing they have to say. This is it. I couldn't get another card to come out. It says, honor the deities around you. Prayers, offerings, help. So, if you're working with any deities or even your ancestors, making sure you're praying to them, talking to them, thanking them, having that gratitude. Remember, I talked about having that gratitude and reflecting back on, okay, and then finding ways you can help them. What can I do to be a better servant in this world? How can I show up? And how can I tell your story? Sometimes the deities come to you and want you to do work for them, where they say, okay, I want you to tell my story, like write my story, create a song for my story, create a poem for my story, create a fragrance for me. I know there's a lot of people out there that builds like skincare, and they base it off, they'll base it off of some kind of deity, and that, there's so many different things that you could do. And you don't have to do anything big like write a book or write a song or sing a song or write a poem. Actually, writing a poem is not that bad. It's, and it's just honoring them. And then also looking into what that deity likes. Does that deity like, honey or chocolate or toys or feathers or, some kind of herb, or what scents do they like? So, and bringing that to them. And it's also just recognizing them and thanking them and communicating with them. So you're making sure when you're connecting with these deities. One thing I've learned about connecting with a deity recently is that she said to me, I don't need an altar. She told me she didn't need an altar, that she knew my heart. And at the same time of her knowing my heart, I could still go to her and say, what can I do? Or me just recognizing her and thanking her and being there and communicating with her on a regular, not just for my own sake, but just getting her story and letting her communicate to me. That is honoring the deities that are around you. So, oh wow, I guess that is the story that actually wanted to come out. And actually, this card keeps coming up, so I am going to honor it. And it says, treat your body well, exercise, meditate, and get a massage. So, I know with myself, treating my body well, I do, meditate and I exercise. I don't get massages, though, because I don't want people touching me. I'm so funny. So, but yes, like relaxing and taking some deep breaths, going outside and just doing some breath work. I love breath work, or doing any kind of exercise that you enjoy. It could be walking, it could be hiking, it can be yoga, it could be Pilates, it could be weightlifting, it can be jogging, it could be cross-country running, it could be any of those things. It could be whatever, it could be dancing. It's just honoring that body, because your body is that vessel that is carrying you, and that's another thing you need to reflect, and having gratitude. I think this is actually this reading freaking, I think it's going to be on gratitude, and one of the gratitudes that's showing up as you're going through the cycle in your life, if you're working with any deities, finding some kind of gratitude towards them, and then finding gratitude towards your body, okay? Well, that was nice and easy. I like that. Then we have, I'm using the heal yourself. So, I could not come on here and not talk about some kind of healing that needs to, yes, honoring your deities and taking care of your body is very healing. It's very nurturing. But this deck is, we'll go into a deeper understanding of maybe something. What needs to be healed? Okay. I have healing. Healing. You know what? If you look at this, you can kind of see this fire within her hands. So to me, it's two things. It could be healing your solar plexus, because again, it's fire. It's that flame. It's that flame within yourself. And that's a solar plexus. So, and it's where you build that confidence, where you're showing up for yourself, and where you'll speak up for yourself, and you know, where you are willing to shine into this world, and to, you know, you don't have to be on the stage and be that. It's just where you have that confidence, where you speak up for yourself, or you can set those boundaries, and it's part of the self-care. It's part of loving yourself is healing. What healing? I'm gonna go back, because we have that healing. What is our healing? They gave me one. Interesting. It says sadness, and you can kind of see she's crying in there. We have this sadness. So another thing is we have paint brushes again. So maybe you can express your emotions, getting something out through painting, through some type of artwork. Because right here on this Come to Life, we have her painting. So maybe this is calling for someone, and it's very specific, because we have the paints right here, we have the paints right here. And so it's saying to me that looking into this whole way of painting, and so this could be taking the time to paint. You know, you can do a painting, and do a painting for if you follow a deity, or or if you do archangels, or your spirit guide, or your ancestors, okay, any of those, and going back and painting something for them, putting something together for them, and then hanging it up, and knowing, okay, when you come back to it, that helped me heal. Maybe you take that picture and you frame it and you put it on the wall, and you come back to it like a couple of years later, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I was in this place and I was going through some stuff, and let me think of a deity. I can't even think of one off the back. Wow, that's not cool, Tony. That is so not cool. Here, I'm just gonna pull a goddess card real quick, and she's gonna be my example. Aries. So Aries. So say you are like, and I use Aries to help me to get through this time in my life, to help me heal. And so you can go back and you can thank them and have gratitude from years later for something that you did, but you have the work from it, and that's what this is about. You are looking. So look at right now. What have you healed from, that you can look back at and say, oh, I healed from that. Oh my gosh, I remember that, and I'm thankful that I was able to get through that. How was you able to get through that? Was there someone in your life that helped you get through it? Was there an ancestor that you called on? Was it God? Was it an archangel? Was it a deity? Who or what was it? Was it yourself? Was it your higher self? And then that's the person you are now. So that the person you are now is the person who helped you get through what you went through in the past. So the person you are now is that person, and so you can thank yourself now, and go give yourself a massage because of it. That's all that is saying. Okay. So we are going to get some records. We're going to go into the records. Give me something that we need to see. I'm opening the door for records. Any message for the collectives that they need to see about reflection and gratitude, and something they can take with them as they move forward. Take these two. You have One of Forces, the Akashic Fields, and then you have Three of Keys, the chess game. These two things, I'm going off my intuition off of these. I'm not going to pull out the books for them today. The One of Forces is the Akashic Field. It reminds me of the Ace of Swords, because it's like you have this whirlwind of fog around you, and you get to start where you get to cut through it. You finally see a path forward. You'll finally see a way forward, and you know how this chess game, these Three Keys reminds me of Three of Pentacles. You have the support you need to move through it. So this chess game is going to, you have the higher ground with that. Look at, if you check out that horse right there. I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see that horse, and it's letting you know that you have this clarity, and you have the resources, or not even the resources, but the keys is like the people, your ancestors, your deities you're working with, your higher self, your own self, to work with, to help you get through this. This is something to me, that these keys is the chess game. Chess is really hard to learn, so to be able to go through it and conquer it tells me that this is something that you've played before. So it's like a game you've already played, and now you're playing that game again, but you have better clarity on that game. Like, maybe you played this game before, okay? Maybe it's a cycle that you've already been through, right? And you played it, and you didn't do so well at it, and you're like, okay, I'm playing this again, but this time I know I know a little more, and I have a lot more clarity. And I have these wonderful guides working behind me now as well. And before I didn't have that. So looking at what you have now where you did not have before. So if it's something that's repeating, what didn't you have before that you have now that you can overcome that? Okay? That's what it's asking you to look at. What did you... That's what that chess game is, those Three of Keys. You have more keys now. You have more help. You have more experience. You have better guides, and guides that you're open to. We have the King of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, oh my gosh, I wasn't going to do these other three cards. My freaking guides are like, yeah. Seven of Cups. I was like, I'm going to... Six of Wands. Oh my gosh. And you know who... I know it's not, but I did say Aries. Like, and then Aries, the sign Aries shows up too. Like, I talked about the god Aries, call him that god Aries, and then we had this Aries show up. Oh, universe, you're funny. I actually don't work with Aries either, you guys. That was just a pull I did. I don't work with them at all. So with this King of Wands, the sun just came out, so it got lighter in my room. You have the King of Wands, so the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman. So this King of Wands to me was, and if you see this King of Wands is looking up. He's on guard. And so it's like you've been on guard, and you're like, you're trying to stand your ground. And also this could be either you or a person, and it could be a Leo. So, and you're in this state where, you know, I know who I am. I know my power. And you're holding your ground, and you know this wheel is in your favor because you've done all this work. You've done all this. So you're saying, I know the wheel is turning in my favor. So you're still holding your ground because you know this wheel is in your favor. But you're still holding on because you have this hangman. And this hangman is here because at the same time, you have to wait. It's not, that rope has not, you have not learned something yet. The lesson hasn't been cycled through fully. Okay? It hasn't came. I was thinking, because I was thinking of Jupiter. I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I was looking at Wheel of Fortune, I was thinking of Jupiter, but I don't know why. Okay. And then we have the Seven of Cups, the Six of Wands, and then, again, Aries. So we have a lot of fire energy here. With the Seven of Cups, again, you have all these things around you. You're not being bothered by it. I love this. Because the Seven of Cups can be those stinking illusions, like I have all these offers, or I'm illusional to what's going on. But this time you're like, no, I'm not falling for any of that. You've really stepped into this power. Like, you're firm, and you're like, I'm not falling for any of those illusions. Look at her hand. Look how she has her finger pointed up, and she's like, nah, I'm not falling for it. I love that. I love it. She's like, no, I'm not falling. And this gives you a Six of Wands because you held your ground and you knew your power and you knew this wheel was going to turn on your favor. Underneath the wheel is the Six of Wands. Yes, you are going to come out victorious and walking in the direction you want to and rise up in the way you want to be. Again, with the horse, remember this horse and this chess piece up here? Knowing that you've been through this before, this cycle before, and guess what? You're going to be victorious over this cycle this time around. This time around, victorious. Okay? But there is some time to still do some inner work, some reflection to make sure that you have Aries. Aries is this Mars energy. To make sure that you are being able to be bold enough and stand your ground. And that's, and it's fire again. And so, and it's also masculine energy as well. So to me, it's also taking on that form of being able to step up to your masculine energy. You might just been fully in your feminine energy, and maybe you're stepping up to a stronger masculine energy, or you are balancing your masculine energy, because we have both. And so saying that this masculine energy now is becoming more balanced, and that it's coming, the reason why you're a hangman, because this masculine energy around you or in you is becoming more balanced, and it needs to be balanced out before this hangman will drop. Okay? And I'm going to end off with one card to see what we can get. And this is from the Sacred Medicine, and I might, because I love her, I love what she says in her books. I would probably read from it because she always has a wonderful message. You know, I can read them intuitively and tell you that, but sometimes the message from the creator of the deck can really hit a nail or something. You know, that nail is sitting there, and there that hammer, and it hits it way better than I can. I might come in with a shoe and try to hammer it, or they have a hammer and they do a better job at it. So, and that's okay, because sometimes that's what we need. But I'm gonna look at it, but I really think I'm just gonna read from the book on this, because that's how I feel about this. I need one card to end us with for the collective on this reflection and having gratitude and getting through this beautiful cycle. Thank you. And if Aries is here with me today, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh. 55. So You might see the angel number 55. That's my first double I've seen. So 55, in which is about change or conflict, because it is the Thunderbird vision. And it's a trailblazer. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful energy. And yes, I am going to read about the Thunderbird. I love the Thunderbird, but I'm pretty sure she can explain the Thunderbird better than I can explain the Thunderbird. It is said the Thunderbird is one of the highest spiritual beings, joining us from the west in the spring to bring thunderstorms and rain. The medicine of the Thunderbird appears today to shake up the path you thought you had to take. It's time for a redirection, with your heart and your spirit leading the way. Get out of your mind. It cannot bring you where you need to go. Thunderbird is asking you to drop down into the ancient wisdom of your body and soul knowing. You are here to create a new way to be a trailblazer, and your ancestors are cheering you on. Evaluate the ways you have been conditioned to follow the status quo. Look at the ways that the systems at play have influenced your thinking and the ways of being. Thunderbird soars before you and power of vision, helping you drop your attachment to going along with the crowd as a follower and chart your own course. You are a unique being, and a new way is being birthed through you. The Thunder Being is calling you into courage as you rise into the calling. Others are waiting and watching for the trail to emerge. Like Thunderbirds, you leave the stardust behind you, dropping the burst of inspiration for others to follow. So, the healing affirmation says, I am here to blaze a new way forward. I claim my role as a trailblazer with pride. I can tell you right now, when I was reading that, I first thought, oh, that is so the age of Aquarius, in which we are going into. We are going into this age of Aquarius, which Aquariuses are supposed to be trailblazers. They do not follow the status quo. And when they do, they are miserable when they follow the status quo, because they're not meant to follow the status quo. Aquariuses are meant to create them. And so when they are not doing that, they are probably miserable, or they are not living their life's purpose. Especially if you have an Aquarius sun, or if your North Node is an Aquarius as well. That is calling you, that your path is to be a trailblazer, to create something new. So creating something new, like a new way that we're supposed to collect resources for the earth. A new way on how we're supposed to communicate with each other better, a new way that laws are passed, a new way people can be healthier, a new way for children to learn, a new way for so many things. And that's what that Aquarius energy does, and that's what the Thunderbird vision is. So that is your reading. Reflect on it, and find gratitude. This was all about finding gratitude for where you've been and where you are now. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.